Cub Swanson has fought the who's who. He's fought everybody. He's coming off of a pretty rough leg kick loss to Jonathan Martinez, and you would imagine Hakeem Dawodu is going to come out the gates and he's going to beat up the legs. So, what would be the strategy for Cub Swanson to try to be well-rounded enough to capitalize on putting another L on Dawodu's record? Because he did just come off to that loss against Juicy J, Julian Erosa.
I think Cub Swanson, in order to win this fight, needs to put Hakeem Dawodu on his back, close the distance, put the pressure, nullify those long distance attacks, those leg kicks, that nice jab that Hakeem has. He has a very powerful right hand as well. If Cub Swanson can get on the inside, take this fight to the ground, control him there, we've seen Dawodu struggle a little bit with that exact position. Now, that being said, it's a lot easier because we know in that last fight that Hakeem had against Julian Erosa, he was throwing the knees, he was throwing the uppercuts. And so, to Rosa's credit, so was he. So he's stopping a lot of that attack. I think Cub Swanson's going to have to depend on his old school veteran mentalship and actually be able to get this fight where it's most advantageous to him. Do you see him also being outstruck on the feet, or is there another way to victory right here, Derek?
Well, that's what was interesting. I was like agreeing with you because you're like, he needs to put him on the back. And I thought you were going to follow that up with back foot, right? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's got to put him on the back foot. Put him on his back. That's not a bad suggestion either. That's a fantastic, that's even better suggestion. I just think it's going to be difficult. If you can put Mean Hakeem on his back foot, take away the leg kicks, right? Make him really just become a counterpoint fighter, turn it into an ugly brawl. I think that's the best path to victory for Cub Swanson. Because I could see Dawodu personally, just from what I've watched, I think that he excels much better in a technical fight, right? Something that's clean cut versus something that's just an all out blood and guts fight, which Cub Swanson definitely does excel in. So, do we see Hakeem Dawodu try to take the approach of potentially like a Giga Chikadze, or even Jonathan Martinez was working a little bit, but try to work that body work of Cub Swanson, slow him down a little bit, and potentially chase a finish? Because all love to Cub Swanson, but I do see finishing capacities here for Dawodu. I think that even though he's been primarily a decision fighter, that plus 160 TKO is not looking too bad. What do you think?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Derek. If Hakeem Dawodu is able to, or if Cub Swanson is able to actually go in there and start to do exactly what you said, that prevents a whole new thing for Hakeem, because I can see him being the one on the edge, being the one hitting him with power strikes and actually doing that. Cub Swanson, you said it before, Derek, he pulls you into that firefight and really allows you to kind of the chaos to take over and allow that fight to become something that's more Cub Swanson. So for Hakeem Dawodu to really stay controlled, composed, and mental, I think that's going to be his biggest challenge here. We've seen in most of his fights, man, even the Trezano or the Mosar Evloev, he's down to get clipped. He's down to have that firefight. So right there, that little ego challenge, if you will, that Cub Swanson presents, I think that's going to be a real sticking point for Cub to try and make happen. I agree with you. I think Cub Swanson's better in the firefight. Hakeem Dawodu's better as a technical striker. Who has the advantage on the ground, or at least not necessarily wrestling, Derek, not necessarily jiu-jitsu, but getting off the ground and into their own comfortable space? Who do you think has that advantage there?
It's tough, man, because Cub Swanson is a certified black belt in jiu-jitsu, man. So when it comes to being a grappler, obviously you give it to Cub. We've seen Dawodu struggle with some of the grappling as of late. I just think that when it comes down, especially right now with the athleticism, Dawodu, and the age discrepancy, I think if he gets taken down, first thing he's going to do is try to get back up to the feet, use the cage to scrape him off, and then get back out at range. With that being said, man, I mean, clear cut, I like Hakeem Dawodu here. I think it's hard to bet against him at minus 250. The question really becomes of what value do you see in any of these props? And like I'm going to touch on before, give me Dawodu and give me that plus 160 TKO. I see some value there. What do you think?
I incredibly see value in that Hakeem Dawodu plus 160. It's rough saying that against Cub, though, too, because, I mean, as much as he is a grizzled veteran, the chin has been starting to become wavery, especially at 39 years old. I'm taking it too, Derek. Give me Hakeem Dawodu and give me that TKO.
All right, fair play.